Few California-born writers have as many of their books turned into movies as John Steinbeck has.
East of Eden, Of Mice and Men, Red Pony, Wayward Bus was a film, Cannery Row is a film. I need more fingers to count on. Winter of Our Discontent, so like 14 or 15 films?
So over a dozen films.
Over a dozen films.
The topics in his books were complex and heavy, but Hollywood screenwriters fell in love with Steinbeck's relatable characters.
Live off the fat of the land.
Let's keep looking across.
Characters like Lenny Small and George Milton in the story Of Mice and Men. Characters who were based on real-life Californians and the historical issues in Steinbeck's time.
That's one thing he said is, I'm trying to write history as it happens, and I have to get it right.
Steinbeck grew up in Monterey County in the early 1900s, and it was the backdrop for a number of his books. And you can experience his life at the National Steinbeck Center in his hometown of Salinas.
So I feel like a lot of what he contributed was to see California as a place where literature happens.
If you take a tour with archivist Lisa Josephs, you'll learn how historical events inspired more than 30 of his books.
I don't understand it, Dad.
Me neither, Ma, but...
Hardships during the Great Depression inspired some of Steinbeck's most read books, including Grapes of Wrath, which won him a literary Nobel Prize for his realistic portrayal of Okies and the migrant workers he encountered during the Dust Bowl.
In 1962, his wife had just turned on the news one day, and they're just sitting there. I was like, oh, surprise.
Nate, you sit here reading.
After spending time as a correspondent in World War II, Steinbeck was asked by soldiers to write a comedy to boost the spirits of the nation. He did just that in the book Cannery Row, a heartwarming story of the camaraderie between fun-loving drunks who threw a disastrous party for their friend.
People as needing one another. So throughout his books, you'll see people in relation that they can't live without one another.
I'll keep it for you. I'll wrap it up and we'll just keep it in here. And then
I'll never take it.
Steinbeck goes back in time in his book East of Eden and tells a story based on his own family living in the Salinas Valley through the beginning of the 20th century and World War I. Actor James Dean actually was nominated for an Academy Award for his performance in the book's film adaptation.
That I am impelled not to squeak like a grateful and apologetic mouse, but to roar like a lion out of pride in my profession, and in the great and good men who have practiced it through the ages.
Steinbeck redefined American literature in his time. Growing up in California helped shape his writing, and because of that, his work is still read by students today.
Literature is as old as speech. It grew out of human need for it, and it has not changed except to become more needed.
From the National Steinbeck Center in Salinas, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.